Hi, hello, welcome to IS Factors Mains Mindset, and this is the answer writing from Current Affairs, the daily answer writing program. As we know, we have two questions every day, and this is day 4 that we are doing. And let's welcome to the mindset, and with me, Arjun R. Shankar. Let's take a look at let's give the best attempts for 2025. And this is the mains mindset that we are running. So do check out the course details also. And this is as we say, this is not a question answer model. I'm giving you the maximum idea is to give you the theme radius. Increase your theme radius is my objective. Now let's check out the first question here. What are the opportunities and challenges using Arctic shipping like the North Sea route for India's future maritime strategy? This is a very important question, and you know why I said it is important, because Northern Sea route has been appearing in the news since last 1 year, and that qualifies and that makes it very important for this. So you need to have a perspective of Northern Sea route. What exactly is Northern Sea route? How is it benefiting the world shipping lanes? And from a perspective of India, how is this really helping? So these dimensions needs to be built from this question. And a question from e-governance. Explain the role of e-governance and real-time monitoring in enhancing accountability in natural resource management. So we have not been asked about the e-governance system, but very specifically e-governance and accountability with a special reference to real-time monitoring in the natural resource management. So first of all, you need to know what is natural resource management in order to manage the natural resources in India. How do you think e-governance is actually well? So in such questions, you know, the biggest problem in such question, uh, in these questions, the vocabulary is very important. Rather than simply attempting writing some random facts on e-governance, it helps the citizen-centric move. You need to put out the best vocabulary. If your vocabulary or the keywords that you put in, if you put in the keywords, your answer really stands well. That is the main thing that we need to understand. So two questions, one on the Northern Sea route and India, and about the natural resource and e-governance, and some of the extra topics that we are discussing today, which also can be another mains question, like India-Norway relations. Northern Sea route has been discussed. What is Maitri? Maritime AI trade and regulatory interface. What is the concept of green voyage? And what is EFTA, India EFTA TEPA? TEPA is the Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement. So what is India EFTA TEPA? So all these can be an individual. These questions or these extra topics that we are discussing also has the potential to be asked as an extra question. Okay, fair enough. So let's immediately get into the question number 1. What are the opportunities? And definitely they're asking about one opportunity. Second, challenges using Arctic shipping routes like Northern Sea route for India's maritime strategy. So you need to write it from India's perspective. So first of all, let's not make a model answer. I'll give out the feeder points. I'll give out the feeder points first. Let's take the feeder points and let's accordingly arrange the answers. So first of all, why this question was asked? See, I've got a PIB article. I made this question from the PIB because India-Norway bilateral, because you can see uh, it mentions about a joint feasibility study to Northern Sea route with Norway. So India-Norway relation stands as the first pivot, and understanding the potential of Northern Sea route. The Northern Sea route emerges a climate-friendly trade corridor. You can see a lot of articles in the last 1 year regarding the Northern Sea route. So this is the reason why I framed this question. Most of the points are taken from this PIB. Most of the points are taken from this PIB and these articles. So this is the source of the article. So first of all, you need to understand what the Northern Sea route is all about. So what is Northern Sea route and why is this a game changer? Why is this a game changer? So it is actually altering the original or an old route. So why do you think, why is this a game changer? And what are some of the challenges of this? What are some of the challenges of this? And know all major dimensions. So if you can find out all these aspects, our answer really becomes better. Okay, let's take the question. So first of all, understand what is Northern Sea route. So get this idea. We are at this point, India. Northern, it's a strategic maritime corridor. Very important. Use this word, which runs along the Russian Arctic coast, connecting the Barents Sea. Take a look at the Barents Sea near Norway. You can see Norway to the Bering Strait between Siberia and Alaska. So it is the part of the Northeast Passage and lies entirely within Russia's EEZ. So look at this. Look at that. Look at the area it is covering. It's right from Norway. It goes up to this route. So look at the Northern Sea route actually. Look at the Northern Sea route here. It goes from Norway, Bering Strait. So look at the red color thing. You can take a look at this because I think this existing route is very clear. Let me erase this. It will be more easy for you to watch it. Look at the existing route. It goes like this. But the Northern Sea route, the NSR, from Norway, you can see the Alaska, the Bering Strait, all these things connecting to this and connecting here. So take a look at the other image. A new shipping highway. So look at this. Take a look at the map. How is it going? So why is this important? Because let's see why NSR is important. It is the shortest sea route between Europe and Asia, slashing the distance between Murmansk and Yokohama from 12,840 nautical miles via the Suez Canal. So this NSR is the shortest route and it is safe. So that is the point number one. It is the shortest route and it is saving fuel. That is also important. Number two, if you're in mains, when you write points, you get point. It is saving fuel. Over 40%, making it a game changer. And let's see how it bypasses the olden route. So it is more direct path between Europe and Asia, unlike the other. So let's look at the traditional route. Via Suez Canal, it goes to Europe, the Murmansk, down the Mediterranean, around the Arabian Peninsula, into the Indian Ocean, up through the South China Sea to Yokohama. So it goes through all this Arabian Peninsula, Mediterranean, but it's a direct path between Europe and Asia. NSR means Murmansk. Ships sail directly eastward along the North Russian Arctic coast through the Bering Strait and then drop to Japan or China. Take a look at that. Did you see this? Take a look at this greens, how it goes. It directly goes between Northern Sea route, it goes through Bering Strait, Alaska, and it comes back to enter this area. So look at this. So this is very, very important in the sense it is cutting time, it is saving fuel, and this bypasses the long southward detour around Africa, Arabian Sea, Southeast Asia. This is bypassed. You don't need this route. That is the importance of NSR. So have this idea clear. So we bypass a lot of things. The traditional Suez Canal route is more than 8,000 kilometers longer than the, just imagine, 8,000 kilometers longer. How is it affecting? We'll have a small analysis, we'll have a small time relation. See, imagine that time saving is equal to shorter distance will faster movement. Ship speed remains the same, but shorter route means fewer days at sea. Average container speed, let's say 20 knots, nautical miles per hour, 20 nautical miles per hour. But take the Suez route, almost 12,840 nautical miles, that means 27 days of sailing. But Northern Sea route is almost 5,770 nautical miles, which is 12 days of sailing. 15 days is saved, that means 40% is faster. So even though the ship speed is the same, the distance is less, that means we can go faster. 15 days is saved by this, but there comes a larger problem. What are the major obstacles for this? It offers an alternate to the Suez Canal, saving more than 8,000 kilometers it is being saved, and Russia use it is as export LNG and minerals from the Arctic, and Russia, China, India are exploring partnerships to develop this corridor, especially. So Russia, China and India are important parts of this. Some of the challenges, even though according to kilometers it is very friendly, but what are the other aspects? Look at the ice coverage is the major problem. Since we are going with Norway, Arctic, some parts are navigable only 2 months a year through climate change is extending this window. So ice coverage, most of it can be covered with ice, so navigation can be a problem. Infrastructure gap, limited ports, search and rescue facilities and icebreaker support. If it is ice, you need to have a strong ice breaking support, which also is low. We can hope that in the days to come it will actually prosper also. And environmental risk, increased traffic could threaten Arctic fragile system. Everything goes through the Arctic, so anything, it can damage the Arctic ecosystem. So infrastructure, the existing ice facilities, ice coverage, environmental risk, all are definitely challenges of this. But and look at that, these are geopolitical barriers. Like Russia is controlling the Northern Sea route. It levies transit fees and icebreaker usage rules. Everything is controlled by Russia. So that can be a geopolitical impediment for many of the people. And even like Western sanction, like different geopolitical equation like US, European Union versus Russia, US versus China, all this can complicate this route access, because since many of the countries are involved, there can be a complication between the international relations can also affect this. So these are some of the most and some of the important things. And let me also tell you something about the India-Norway relation. It can also be another important question from GS paper 2 international relations. So Northern Sea Route and Norway is a part of that. And how India and Norway are connected, let's get some idea. This is entirely different from the previous thing. So let's get some major important facts. So why is this India-Norway relations? Let's see. We have a green maritime technology and ferry electrification project between India and Norway. A green maritime, these are all vocabulary and keywords. We have India's green vision. Maritime India Vision 2030. That is India's Maritime India Vision, and Maritime Amrit Kal Vision 2047. Like we have Vikasit Bharat, we have Maritime Amrit Kal 2047, Maritime India Vision 2030. So that according to this, India is modernizing its ports with green and digital. So green means definitely environment friendly, and digital means we are using, unlike the traditional methods, we are using more of digital methods. So by 2030 and 2047, we need to upgrade our port system. Focus on PPP models, green hydrogen, offshore and low carbon logistics. So India is collaborating with Norway in many of this. And what is Norway's expertise? In ferry electrification. So it has implementation of electric ferries and zero emission operations. India seeks to learn from this. So they have this ferry electric process with zero emission. India is learning from Norway. So that is the biggest point that you can write about Norway. And you should definitely include, your answer should have Maitri and Green Voyage 2050. What is this concept of Maitri? What is this? Maitri, it's Maritime Technology Research Initiative. That is India's Maitri. And Green Voyage is Norway's program, which will be leveraged for collaborating innovation. So let's understand. So all this are important in regarding methanol, hydrogen-powered vessels, digital twins, AI-based port system. Everything will be brought under this. India and Norway will work on methanol production, hydrogen-powered vessels, digital twins. We've already discussed what you mean by digital twins, and AI-based port system. Let's get an idea about Maitri. Maritime AI trade, maritime AI trade and regulatory interface. It is so what when you hear the word Maitri, always understand it is a digital platform built by India to streamline and modernize maritime trade. It's part of the broader Maritime Vision 2030, and it supports virtual trade corridor or VTC. All these can also be questioned. What do you mean by virtual trade corridor? So all this is Maitri is powering all this. It uses AI and blockchain to cross-border trade, port efficiency, integrate national logistic portal, marine, one nation, one port. So what is VTC? Virtual trade corridor. And we have heard about one nation, one election. What is one nation, one port process? ONOP. So when you hear Maitri, think as India's smart maritime brain, making ports faster, cleaner, and more transparent. So enabling, enhancing port is Maitri is important. Even Maitri can also be a question in the mains. So VTC, ONOP, Maitri are all part of this. And Green Voyage is actually a joint initiative by International Maritime Organization IMO and Norway. Developing countries decarbonize their maritime sector. So Green Voyage means definitely the key word is decarbonize their maritime sectors. India is also part of this. India is a key participant and region leader. India also promotes low carbon shipping, green hydrogen, electric ferries. It's collaborating on ferry electrification with Norway. And it builds on India's green coastal shipping program, Amrit Kal Bharat. And also remember India's green coastal shipping program. India is also part of this. So Green Voyage, a lot of points are here. And we are also collaborating with shipbuilding and ship recycling. So joint focus on eco-friendly vessel manufacturing, like ship recycling in Alang Yard. So where is this Alang Yard in Gujarat? We need to upgrade our Alang Yard in Gujarat for environmental and safety standards. So we are also collaborating with shipbuilding and ship recycling with Norway. So these are all points for Norway. And although we are training polar navigation, cyber security, and women in maritime sector, everything is a part of this. And India's initiative, look at this, Sagar Mein Samman. If you add all this in your answer, definitely your answer paper will stand out. Sagar Mein Samman is also a part. So gender equitable maritime force. So bringing in women in maritime sector is also an advantage for that. So and India is also Norway partnership based on mutual respect. India recently signed India EFTA trade. So what is India EFTA trade? So India EFTA trade is the landmark trade between India and the European. EFTA means the European Free Trade Association, which comprises of Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. So we are going to be part of this. So TEPA is, you can see EFTA means European Free Trade Organization. It also contains Norway. So in a lot of ways, Norway, India is having a very good relationship. I'm sure with this you can easily write about Northern Sea Route, the challenges, opportunities, and also India Norway relationship. And also you should remember about the Maitri, Green Voyage, and decarbonization of maritime ports. All these vocabularies can really help you. Now let's get into the another question from the governance GS paper 2 level. You can see the role of e-governance in and real-time monitoring in natural resource management. So this is why I asked this question. I framed this question from this PIB report. You can take a look at this. Minister Kishan Reddy launches mining dashboard to fast track operation of auction minerals. How does digital governance improve natural resource efficiency? And see, I've read or taken points from all this, and we have a mining dashboard. So from this perspective, I've created this question. Natural resource management means, the biggest challenge of this answer writing, what I've seen in the answer writing, is if you write about random thing about e-governance, some random thing of e-governance will not give you marks. You need to be precise. What is the real-time monitoring or natural resource management or NRM? So you need natural resource management means whatever. You can bring in mining, you can bring in water, you can bring in soil. Whatever points that you need to bring, you need to mention with examples. A simple mere answer with e-governance will help you. E-governance will make the people move out. Random points will not fetch you marks. You need to put out the vocabulary or the keywords. So my attempt is to tell you the keywords, not a model answer. So first of all, e-governance, what is e-governance? Refers to the use of ICT, information and communication technology, by government institution to deliver services, share information, and ensure regulatory compliance. So we know without e-governance, everything is going to be difficult. People rely on this. Everything you get online, every services you get online, but how are you going to use it for natural resource management is the key question. Now let's move on and find out. So before that, before we go to the random things, let me also tell you about I hope you remember the question clearly. It was asking about, they had asked clearly about the real-time monitoring. Did you see this word? Explain the role of e-governance and real-time monitoring. E-governance is one and real-time monitoring is two. So you need to know what exactly is the real-time monitoring. I'll start off with a few points and then I'll go with the larger keywords. So real-time monitoring uses remote sensing, IoT sensors, satellites, mobile apps to get live data on resource extraction or depletion. That means real-time monitoring means you get real-time. In real-time means live. So you should definitely bring in real-time data. You should use remote sensing, IoT sensors, satellites, mobile apps are monitoring various things. Like Forest Survey of India, satellite-based platforms like GIS can detect encroachment and unauthorized login. Mining companies are required to install small cameras and GPS trackers for the star rating framework. So real-time data means you should use sensors, satellite, etc. Like take an example, I'll give an example. What is the NAQUIM? See, in this answer, you'll only get points if you write the keywords. What is NAQUIM? National Aquifer Mapping Program. It uses real-time data to guide sustainable groundwater extraction in overexploited zone. So wherever you feel that there is an overexploited zone, you can mention the use of NAQUIM. I have more examples for you. This is to tell you that this is how you should write. First of all, you should tell me what is a real-time monitoring, and example is NAQUIM. And natural resource management, take a look at the forest clearing monitoring system, which offers end-to-end digital tracking. So this is forest monitoring system is also one example. And now let's give you a random sector by sector. I'm going to give you sector by sector keywords. Like take mining dashboard. This was the PIB article that I took, and it is actually creating a mining dashboard. So all of this, not the real time. These are examples of e-governance. Examples of e-governance in natural resource management. One is mining dashboard, mining tenantment system or MTS. Have you heard about this? So my point idea is to give you maximum vocabulary and keywords. What is MTS? Mining tenantment system. So it also has real-time monitoring, tracking, reduce delay and corruption, data-driven decision making. So two important concepts in mining. What about water resource management? According to natural resource, water, NHP or National Hydrology Project. It also has real-time water level. Jal Shakti Abhiyan, a dashboard, and aqueduct tools. All these are also, so NHP, National Hydrology Project, Jal Shakti Abhiyan dashboard, also water resources. And what about forest and biodiversity? Let's take forest and biodiversity. You have e-Green Watch, forest fire alert system, the firms or infras, the Parivesh portal for environment clearance. Look at this. What is it doing? It is also real-time forest alert. It is also real-time deforestation, afforestation, forest fire, forest clearance. All this is actually done by e-Green Watch, forest fire system, firms, infras, Parivesh portal. See, look at how many vocabularies I'm giving. This is how it becomes important. And what about land use? Digital India Land Records Modernization Program or DIL RMP. It's called the DIL RMP, Digital India Land Records Modernization. Bhuvan Geoportal by ISRO. ISRO